Alright, hi everyone. So we've got a baling contract going on at field 3. So we've got to mow it, we've got to dry it with the tedder, and we've got to windrow it, and then bale it. So I'm going to be bringing the machines all the way over to field 3. I'm not quite sure where field 3 is on the map. Let me just check my map. And then we will be off. I know it's up in the top end. Ah, there we go. So if I go through the village, and at the crossroads where I'd go to the animal dealer, I need to turn left and then take a right, and it should be somewhere up there. Okay, well, I'm going to start driving the machines up there. I have got a new trailer to pick up from the shop, and I'll let you watch me bring the Zeta up there, because the Zeta's got the mower and the tedder on it. But then I'll sort of cut the rest of it and bring you back once I'm up there. So I will see you very shortly.
something that would last. Baby, has the feeling passed? Falling in was easy, how do I make it stay? I'll never let go of you, tried and true. Tried and true. Was I a fool? I know sometimes I may wonder, but I would never leave asunder a thing as good as what we have. Is it a rule? What's good is worth the fighting. There ain't no denying that you and I were made to last. Falling in was easy, how can we make it stay? I'll never let go of you, tried and true. Tried and true. I'll never let go of you. Tried and true. I will never let go of you. Tried and true. Whoa. Have you had a change of heart? Can we go back to the start? I'll never let go of you, tried and true. Oh, I'll never let go of you, tried and true. Tried and
it will break the fear. When your love gets wide, it will bring you near. And when your soul gets humble, pride loses me. And your days of trouble, they will end right here.
Alrighties, so the eagle-eyed among you may notice that we do have few new vehicles, including this lovely Valtra, and our hook load containers. We are moving into the hook load system, so I might end up selling the class trailers eventually because they're a bit more exchangeable. But this is our field, not this one. This here is the field we are going to be mowing. I'm just going to do a quick glance check. Wow. That view is something else though, isn't it? So, not seeing any problems, but just look at that view. So yeah, I have been doing contracts. I actually got a few baling contracts yesterday. Well, after I'd ended the last video. And so, yeah, I've been working on them. Right, tether unfolded. That's lowering and turning on. That's lowering, turning on. That's lowering, turned on. Okay, so how I have this set out is I have it so that I have the mowers attached to the front. Oh, hang on. I forgot something quite urgent. Well, besides obviously needing to mow that bit, but now let's try it. See what that's giving me. Not quite the right colour. But yeah, I've basically managed to get a setup sorted so that... There we go, that's what I was after. So that I have a tractor with the mower on the front, tedder on the rear. I did get rid of the 2 micro tractors because I realised I weren't going to be using them. And honestly, my next plan for the farm is to be looking at purchasing a silage wrapper, because that unlocks even more baling contracts for us. So far though, this field has a beautiful view for starters. Like, this field would be very hard on me to buy this, but that's something else I want to focus on getting, which is why I'm looking at the silage wrappers. I am looking at, you know, being able to go into silage properly, if only because when we have cows, that's going to help. But also, silage does typically sell for quite a decent amount. I haven't looked into how much it's selling at the minute, nor have I looked into how much it's selling on the map in general, but as a general rule, I'm sorry, farmer, I didn't mean to mow the hedge. Oopsie. Oh no, no, we're not mowing hedges. We're not hedge cutting. That's not what we've been contracted to do. It's a bit of a tight bend this is to get round. But that's why I'm sort of trying to put this in first, so that at least then, you know, I'm not going to do any more damage. I will have to possibly recompense the farmer for the damage to the hedge. Unless, of course, they did say that they were finding access through to that field sometimes difficult. So I guess I have made them an access point. But I'll have to see what the field owner says about that, because that's not something I should have done. I mean, there's a little hole there, so maybe they won't notice. But, you know, let's be honest here. Oh, I've done it again. These hedges are really tight to this field. Okay, so I'm quite glad that I've got the windrower, because it does mean that I can make a nice neat row of the finished product. It makes it easier for baling with, basically. And I know once I've got the first couple of passes done, then we're going to stop putting holes in the hedge. It's never been my intention to. This is why I'm interested as to how the Zeta is going to cope, because this is quite a hilly field, so I can see why it is being put as grass. Come on, little Zeta. You've not let me down yet. And you're still doing amazingly. But just imagine working on this field. Just imagine that being your view, as I say. There are some beautiful fields with some beautiful views in this map. That's one thing I have noticed. But no, I'm also looking at getting a small bit of forestry land just to give me something to do over winter to make some more money. And also, I'd like to try and get the lumber together to basically build my own shed on that bit of land. What I'm looking at doing is less a shed, more a hay storage area, because a bale storage area, because I've got the big bale storage area. It'd be nice as a temporary staging area, I think. Or I might just, you know, put horses on that bit. I've not looked into everything yet. I haven't made the final decision there. I just know that if I'm putting horses on that bit, I need to get some fields sorted with oats, so they could be a little bit time in the future. I mean, I could always try and get pigs on that bit, but again, pigs require some very specific crops, and I don't know if I've got this land for the crops yet. What my plan is first goal, I'd like to get the fields that surround us. No. Right, if I turn that off, or if I lift it up, it's not going to cut anything. That's what I needed to do. Turn it off first, and then make the corner. It's mainly so I can get all that turning to dried quickly. Alright. Given that I'm already going down the middle, let's head straight down the middle. And then we'll go from there. So I'm sort of going to turn this field into 2 bits, but no, that's sort of the long-term plans for this farm at least, that I'm wanting to first of all expand into more fields. But I also definitely want to try and get the silage wrapper sorted, because I've got some decent grassland already. And I figure silage is something I can sort of put in the bunker over winter and hold it. Likewise, I can hold silage bales long term in a shed. I've got plenty of shed space, which is why I'm not eager to build a dedicated bale shed yet. I've got plenty of space, so I don't need to. I'm just thinking, is it something that could be worth it in the future? Right, we're just going to make this bend here and go around this bit a bit. This is pretty much how I'm going to put this full headland in, by the way. As I say, I should at least have a little bit more turning space to get round before I'm hitting and putting accidental gaps in hedges. There we go, that was a bit better. No hedge holing. Not, as I say, it weren't what I wanted to do, and the fact I've done it twice, I feel terrible. But I will report the damage to the landowner and see what the landowner has to say. Might be that it was a known issue, and that's why they did put this in as grass versus anything else, to be fair. But no, I will work at this field in a time lapse. I'll bring you back in midway through. Because this could be repetitive. So I'll talk to you afterwards. Because I've sort of caught you up on my plans for the farm. We have started the day at 10 o'clock because I got very, very busy early on in the farm. I've managed to get fertilizer for all the fields. And we're actually in a pretty good spot. Look, we're in a pretty good spot. I did actually start the day off recording. Checked my footage. And it had failed recording. So it hadn't stored the recording. It happens sometimes. Wish it didn't, but you know, it does happen sometimes. So this is technically my second time recording the day. Just look at that. That's a beauty. That is a beautiful sight to see, and I can't wait to see it all rode up nice and neat. We have had permission from the grain storage facility that borders onto this to effectively use their their parking area as a temporary staging point as well. So that's where the rest of the equipment is, because there weren't much space on this field to actually store the equipment anywhere else. But I think now's a good time as any to start the time lapse, and as I say, I'll see you once I've done. I'm slightly worried about baling on this incline.
are rough, our love is enough to carry us through. You bring me roses on a Tuesday, kiss me at the red light. We both like to walk down in Shelby Park. You hold my head at bedtime, you know my favorite wine. This is why we work, why it's you and I.
In the middle of the day, you turn to me and say, come on, let's get
what you're putting in. All your hopes and efforts are all in vain. Who will pick you up when you've lost everything? Does it all become for granted with a wedding ring? Oh, there must be more. There must be another way. There must be conscience. Different things in different ways. There must be love. There must be a reason. And a little bit of faith has got to come my way. My mama used to say, ooh, happiness requires work every day. Oh, and if that someone makes you smile, it leaves you with a scar. Don't let them tell you what you feel or who you are.
If I'm lost along the way, if I wander off onto a different trail, will you forgive me if I fail when I'm lost and derailed? If I cry when I'm blue, if I cry alone when I am with you? Will you forgive me if I do? If I cry when I'm blue? Through wind and through rain, through trouble and pain, if ever my heart strain, will you pull me through like you always do? When I am calling your name, when I am calling your name. If I'm wrong when you are right, if I'm only seeing things in black and white, will you forgive me tonight? If I'm wrong and you're right. Through wind and through rain, through trouble and pain, if ever my heart strain, will you pull me through like you always do? When I am calling your name. Through wind and through rain, through trouble and pain, if ever my heart strain, will you pull me through like you always do? When I am calling your name, when I am calling your name. If I'm lost along the way, if you find me in a state of disarray, will you hold on another day? If I'm lost along the way, if I'm lost along the way.
I'm not heading for the stars, driving down the boulevard at night, playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by. And it doesn't even matter to me where I go, I just feel I need to take a ride. Got my coffee cup to go, and I'm gonna hit the road tonight. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go. Turning up the stereo in a place I didn't know till now. In a different part of town, I see new colors as the sun goes down. No, it does. doesn't even matter to me where I go. Just feel I need to take a ride. I don't know when I'll get back. Keep on going and relax tonight. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go. I'm not heading for the stars, driving down this boulevard tonight. Yeah, playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
Now, I have switched the tractors around a bit, so the Steyr is the one that I'm using for windrowing on. I'm planning on using the Valtra because it is a slightly more powerful tractor to do the baling and the bale loading, because I'm hoping that it's gonna be a little bit more effective at not tipping over and making the job generally quicker to do. I'm gonna use this one though to bring the trailer in, because that also feels like the sensible thing to do. So yeah, I just need to finish windrowing this up. I'm not sure whether I could have done a better job at this, but I'm doing what I can do with the knowledge I have. I mean, normally I don't windrow, but in this case I'm wanting to see if it does actually make it a bit quicker, you know, to row the crops up rather than trying to drive over everything. Because in theory, yes it does, but this field has so many angles that I don't know whether actually I would have probably been a bit better off, you know, just kind of ignoring the idea of rowing and just focusing on baling. I mean, the hill in this is actually why I've gone down the route of I'm switching over to using the Valtra for pulling the baler, because I know this struggles on relatively flat ground. So I'm just hoping that I can actually, you know, pull it with one of the tractors, especially with this hill. But the Valtra does have a lot higher horsepower than these little tractors do, as evidenced by the fact it's actually a lot speedier. Don't know if you noticed that when I was sort of driving the equipment up, it was able to have a lot more speed behind it. If not, I think the dealer has a JCB on hire for me. Well, the owner of this field has got a JCB on hire for me, just in case, because, you know, I kind of explained to him that, hey, we only have the older equipment, we only have very small equipment. Well, I've got everything I need. The baler can sometimes be a struggle to work with on the tractors we have, but I want to give it a go first with what I have before I use the JCB. But no, I appear to have nearly finished all the rowing. We've got a bit of a thunderstorm rolling over, but so far it's kind of been everywhere but on top of us, which is a good thing, because there's been some nice big lightning flashes. Not sure what time it is. It feels like this is definitely going to be an all-day job, but yeah, it's so far going pretty well. When I say pretty well, I'm actually quite impressed with how smoothly this has gone. I mean, I did get a late start on this field as well. You know, normally I do a field this size starting at 8. We didn't get onto this field till 10, so yeah, it's probably is going to be one of those lovely big all day jobs. So I keep looking behind me to just check that the row is actually going where I want it. But yeah, it looks like we've nearly got all this bit done. Got some nice little lumps, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm starting to see an end to this. This is probably one of the most slowest parts. Well, actually, this whole job is generally a pretty slow job, but it makes us money. You know, this is a 12k contract, so I'm not going to say no to 12k, especially because normally the field's over yield, and I've already got an agreement with the owner that, hey, anything that gets left over, they're quite happy for me to sell for my own financial gain. You know, they're quite happy for me to either use it for the animals we've got, which we haven't got many, and we've got plenty of grass bales, or as I say, to use it for our own gain. Given that I've got the grass bales, we're probably going to use this as something else we can sell, because I don't think we're going to need it anytime soon. I'm not aiming on getting cows anytime soon, put it that way. Wow, this is one heck of a field. The slope on this is quite impressive. I'm quite proud of how this tractor's coping with these, because this wasn't a very flat field, put it that way. So yeah, that's kind of the aim at the minute, though, is to try and get this finished and try not to go through the hedge too often. Now, I'm pretty certain that yes, there probably is a lot easier way of doing all this, but if there is, then I haven't come across it yet, and this is how I want to do it. So it's getting the job done at least, and yeah, I think that's the most important part. As I said, I just hope that I'm going to have time to finish the whole field and at least load it up before the end of the day, because tomorrow's a different day and I do not want to risk there being rain. I mean, I'd like to be able to sell it by the end of today, but who knows, maybe we will be able to do that, because, you know, the baling tends to be the quickest bit. It's just driving a baler up and down, whereas this tends to be the slowest bit. But I don't want to bore you too much with any more time lapsing, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back once I've got the bales all loaded up and we're ready to drive to the sell point, or until I'm having to head for home, whichever comes first. So yeah, I will bring you back, you know, once I've basically finished this aspect. Well, we've got it all loaded. I don't know if this tractor has the power to pull it up here. Really hoping it does. I was going to put this on the Valtra, but you know what? Yeah, I think I will actually. No, I'm gonna. We're getting there. This is going to be the worst bit. You know, just getting up these hills is going to be the worst bit. If I remember right, after that it's all downhill from here. We've been super busy though. I did check the time. It's about 5:30 now by the time I've finished. But yeah, we're going to head to the animal dealers now, and then I've got a lot of equipment to take back to the farm. Hopefully though, this is going to possibly allow me to buy that JCB that's out at the dealers outright, because that would be great. I have been and had a look at it, and it's a beautiful tractor. Okay, it's a larger tractor than the others, so it's going to be able to facilitate more of these sort of jobs, which I think is a really good idea to invest in. Don't get me wrong, these small tractors are good, but having a large, you know, having a bigger tractor is probably going to stand us in good stead. And I think if need be, if I'm close to the 64,000 that they're asking to buy it outright, I think I will probably sell the Steyr, because of all the tractors I have, the Steyr is, well, it's the most useful. Don't get me wrong, it's very useful, but it's the one that tends to get second glance. So a lot of the time I tend to be... Have I just pressed my turning? I should probably check that. Where am I? Okay, no, we're good. But anyway, it's the one that I tend to skip over in favour of the Zeta. I find the Zeta has a much more use to it, including the fact that I do have that front hitch as well as the back hitch. And the Valtra does have the front loader attacher, so you know, it's not like I need to keep this for front loading. I might sell it anyway when I get down there, because I can see that I'm going to be replacing the Steyr soon anyway. Don't get me wrong, this has been a beautiful track to get started with, but sometimes, you know, sometimes these things need to come to an end. But no, they have put the JCB in one of the other sheds, so I'm just having to brake going down this hill because of the load. Now, if I remember right, this is going to the animal dealership. Hang on, let me just check that as well. It's been a very busy day. Yep, it's going to the animal dealers. Okay, so we have a very full load on the trailer, as you've probably seen though. Like, I think I did 2 rows of 6, which is 12, plus a row of 7. So that is 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's 19. Plus I think 5 more on top. Or is it 4 more on top? So I've done about 20 bales off that field, which isn't bad. I should brake a bit more. Well, no, I'm thinking that I'd rather spend the money getting a bigger tractor than keeping this, because as I say, in general it's going to be more capable. But the other thing I'm looking at doing, there's the animals dealer, is I'm looking at getting a low loader, because if I'm doing this sort of work a lot, there's a lot of equipment that I tend to need to cart to and fro. So I'm also thinking that, hey, if I can get a load, you know, a tractor that will be able to pull a low loader, then I can sort of load all the machines onto that. But I definitely think this hook load system is one of my better purchases. Well, we're selling. We're just not doing a very good job of getting in the zone. But we are selling. Oh, that's going totally the wrong way. So, yeah, I'm just using my drone to actually help me reverse. I don't know what that says about my ability to reverse into a bay, but it is what it is. Then if I do... excuse you, you need to get back in here. Come on. Oops. I didn't mean to do that, but hey, it worked in my favour. And I'd say that those dings indicate that we are making profit. Right. There we go. The contract is completed. Let's collect that. And how much have I got? Have I got the money for this? So let me show you what I'm looking. I've almost got the money. Okay. How much is the steel? It's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. This JCB that I've been looking at. I mean, I'd love that, but I haven't got the money for that. But this is what we're looking at. It's the JCB Fast Track 150 restored. It's got 188 horsepower, which, as you can agree, a lot better horsepower than what I'm currently using. And it's a faster tractor. I mean, these are tempting me as well. But I think we're going to start with that JCB. We're going to go up in the world a bit. It is a restored, so it's not exactly the newest vehicle. And yeah, I think we're going to go for that. Oh, that looks beautiful though. I'm going to go for JCB yellow rims. Cool. So that's 68,030. I think that's a good buy. And I'm just going to have a look, see what low loaders I've got that I could use to help me transport all my equipment. I mean, if there's... That'd be the dream. I haven't got the money for that. Have I got the money? Same with that. That'd be... That could be useful, but I don't have the right vehicle for that. So right now... I mean, I could buy that, but that's not really going to help me out much. That's going to be more useful, but again, not right now. So... Let me just grab the JCB. And we'll take that out for a spin in terms of picking everything else up. At least the hook lift. Oh, I can... Yeah, this is the right choice. So this is what the... This is what had been rented out for me. Just in case I needed it to help me with the loading and everything. I guess that I can always do a bit of a sneaky thing, which is... load the baler, which is baler and some of the equipment onto the back of the grain trailer. Like, you shouldn't do, but it won't be the first time I've transported things on the bale trailer because, well, it may not sound right, but it does make a lot of sense. Right. But oh boy, I can... This has some power to it, okay? This is our first medium tractor as well, so... I'm quite excited about this, and it has a front load. It has front options. Yeah, this is a good call, and yeah, I think I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do, which is not reverse that much. I'm still getting used to having such power. There we go. But no, I'm gonna take this up. I'm gonna try and load some of the equipment onto it. No, it's not up there. It's... Hang on. Down this way. Because, hey, if I can make do using what I have, then that's bonus. So, we're going to head back up to the field, not run into anyone. Oh, wow. This feels... This feels a nice drive, okay. Straight up here. I mean, it's hardly stopping on these hills. Like, it's not losing any power going up the hill. Oh, this makes me excited for the future. This makes me so excited. I think this is one of the best purchases I could have got. And I still have 19k in the bank. So yes, I'm a bit sad to see the Steyr go, but looking at how this is handling even this hill, which is admittedly only a small hill, but looking at how it's handling it, I think it had to be done. I think that Steyr had to go. It didn't have the capability to cope with all the things I was asking for it. But I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you everyone for watching today. Thank you everyone who's watched, who's liked, who's left a comment, who's subscribed even. It does help me out a load when you do this. I'm going to get all my vehicles back to the farm. And I'll see you all in another video. I hope you've enjoyed. And if you do have any comments you'd like to make, anything you think I could do differently, or anything like that, do let me know. But, thank you. And, goodbye.